I don't never really be talking money, I just be giving it up. You heard me? I'm just gonna give it up to you and let you have it.
50 Cent is on a no-holds-barred mission to put Big Meech on blast. He's claiming to have rock-solid paperwork that proves Meech is a verified informant, and he's not keeping it under wraps. He's letting everyone know loud and clear. But this situation just took a wild turn. Lil Boosie jumped into the fray, and he's not holding back his opinions on how Lil Meech is dealing with it. Boosie made it plain as day. If someone had disrespected his dad the way 50 came at Big Meech, he would have gone off right then and there. No hesitation. It looks like Lil Meech got the memo. Instead of firing off tweets or trying to out-talk 50, he's making some bold moves. Instead of engaging in a war of words, he's standing his ground by rolling with two of 50's biggest rivals, Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. That's right, Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. And you already know 50 wasn't about to let that slide. He clapped back almost immediately, taking aim at Lil Meech, Rick Ross, and even Boosie. He didn't hold anything back, making it clear that he sees what's going on and there's no way he's staying silent. What's the real story behind that so-called paperwork 50 Cent keeps flaunting? Does he actually have the smoking gun he claims, or is this just another ploy for attention? Let's break it down. The whole 50 Cent versus. Big Meech drama has escalated dramatically, with 50 now parading papers that he says prove Meech worked with federal authorities. Just a few weeks ago, Meech himself shut down all the snitch allegations, swearing that he's never turned on anyone. But now, 50 is going all in, asserting that official court records show Meech was involved in a third-party cooperation deal through a former associate. This has gone way beyond social media gossip. 50 claims he's holding documents with names, dates, and signatures, everything needed to back up his accusations. On Tuesday, February 25th, things got even messier when one of Big Meech's close associates was pulled into the fray. Without hesitation, 50 took to social media to post what he called receipts. He shared a screenshot from 1090 Jake, the well-known YouTuber famous for uncovering and exposing snitch documents. According to 50 and the so-called exclusive message from 1090 Jake, the paperwork links Tammy Cowens, one of Meech's longtime associates, directly to a major federal case. If these documents hold even a shred of truth, they open up a can of questions about how Meech's prison sentence got miraculously cut down. 50 Cent didn't mince words. He captioned the situation clearly, announcing that the truth about Tammy Cowens would be out soon, courtesy of 1090 Jake and his paperwork. Things are about to get seriously messy. Tammy wasn't just some casual acquaintance in Meech's world. She was one of his most trusted allies, heavily involved in his life and even helping to produce BMF, the popular show that chronicled Meech's story. Meech entrusted Tammy with significant responsibilities while he was incarcerated, a testament to the depth of their relationship. It was seen as a bond of loyalty until now. The buzz on the streets is downright scandalous. Rumors suggest Tammy may have been playing both sides from the start. Allegedly, she fed federal agents the very inside information Meech trusted her with, quietly setting up major players behind the scenes. According to Blue Da Vinci, a former BMF member, Meech personally placed Tammy at the helm of BMF Entertainment after his 2008 arrest. She held significant power over the entire brand, but everything changed by 2009. That's when whispers began about Tammy allegedly switching sides and working directly with the FBI. And here's the real jaw-dropper. If Tammy was cooperating with the feds before Meech's sentence was reduced, it leaves everyone wondering, did Meech know? And even more shocking, could Meech have been quietly cooperating through Tammy, all while avoiding putting his own name on any documents? Naturally, some people online were quick to claim that 50's so-called receipts are old news and don't actually confirm that Meech snitched. But with 50 pushing full steam ahead, promising even more revelations, it's clear that nobody is walking away from this drama without answers. Many were quick to point out that nothing in the so-called receipts directly names Big Meech as an informant. Not once. And while Tammy might have cooperated, potentially contributing to Meech's reduced sentence, that doesn't automatically mean Meech himself was cutting deals with federal agents. Here's where things get tricky. In the legal system, it's possible for a federal informant to help someone else's sentence get shortened by providing information that ultimately benefits them. But whether the individual receiving that benefit knows about the arrangement or agrees to it is a whole different story. One common way this happens is through a sworn affidavit or a formal cooperation agreement. That's when an informant gives a statement or testimony that helps someone's case. If the prosecutors or judge deem that testimony valuable, they might agree to shave some time off the sentence. In these scenarios, the individual receiving the reduced time usually knows about it and often has to sign off on the deal. But then there's the murky side, what's known as third-party cooperation. This is where things get downright messy. With third-party cooperation, an associate, like Tammy, can provide information that inadvertently or deliberately helps another person's case. The key difference? The person benefiting might not be directly involved at all. They might not sit down with the authorities or sign any documents. Yet the feds can still use that information to negotiate a sentence reduction. That's why the situation surrounding Meech is so ambiguous. Technically, if Meech never sat down with federal agents and never signed anything, some could argue that he didn't snitch. It's this gray area between direct involvement and indirect benefits that fuels so much speculation and debate. But if Tammy's cooperation actually helped Meech get a time reduction, it raises a big question. Did Meech know what was going on? Did he quietly give his approval? Or was Tammy working in secret, playing both sides without his knowledge? 50 Cent is doubling down on his claim that Big Meech was fully aware and even handed Tammy sensitive info, which she allegedly passed straight to the feds. But here's the catch. When you dig into the documents, it's not as cut and dried as 50 makes it sound. If Tammy was making moves behind Meech's back, funneling info to the feds without his knowledge, then calling Meech a snitch might be a stretch. Still, whether or not the paperwork proves anything, 50 isn't letting up. He's pressing on Meech and pulling others into the fire, even going after those who don't back his version of events. One of the targets of 50's ire? Boozy. That's because Boozy stepped in after Lil Meech responded to the escalating drama. When 50 went public, calling Big Meech a rat and dragging the entire Flannery family into the spotlight, Lil Meech took the direct approach. He sent 50 a personal text, one that quickly went viral. The message read, "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you're managing Skillababy with Rocket, even though I'm the one who introduced him to you in the first place. You didn't even know who he was back then. Now you're acting like I'm the enemy? I can't believe this, man. I've only ever shown you love and loyalty. I'm human, I have my struggles, but I never turned on you." But Lil Meech didn't stop there. He also addressed the controversy surrounding his father's connection with Rick Ross, the very spark that ignited this whole feud. Lil Meech kept it real simple. It was just about money, nothing personal. "F Ross," he said, "but he gave my dad some bread so he could pay his bills until our next season kicks off." He brushed off the drama by saying, "You know me in real life, this ain't even like that." But 50 Cent wasn't trying to hear any of it. 50 clapped back coldly, telling Lil Meech to kiss his BMF role goodbye. No warnings, no second chances, just like that. "What next season?" he fired off, as if to say Meech's acting career was dead on arrival. Then, just to twist the knife a little more, 50 jumped back online and clowned Lil Meech about losing his part. He even joked that Meech's next gig would be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, writing, "I'll hit up Mona Scott for him later today." It was like he was doing Meech a favor while playing career coach and roasting him at the same time. But 50 didn't stop there. After tearing into Lil Meech, he turned his sights on Rick Ross and Big Meech's parenting. He dug up old footage of Lil Meech hanging out with Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, back when they were an item. Then he used that clip to take shots at Meech as a father. 50 captioned the post, asking why Ross never stepped up to help Lil Meech's family while Big Meech was locked up. And then he took it further, writing, "Why old boy didn't look out for Meme and send him to acting school? Big Screech, all your people was out here doing nothing for him. You came home thinking you the Black Pablo Escobar and effed him up." But wait, 50 wasn't finished. He made sure to remind everyone that he's the one who actually helped Big Meech's family survive. According to 50, he's the reason the Flannery family made over $5 million in legit money while Meech was behind bars. The shots just kept coming. While 50 Cent kept the pressure on, fans and critics started debating the real motives behind all this chaos. Was it about clout, revenge, or something deeper? Regardless of the reason, the fallout wasn't just limited to the involved parties. Social media exploded with endless hot takes from casual observers to industry insiders. Everyone seemed to have an opinion on whether 50 was exposing hard truths or just stirring the pot. Meanwhile, Lil Meech found himself in a tough spot. He had to balance defending his father's legacy, responding to 50's relentless jabs, and trying to maintain his own career path. As much as he tried to stay above the fray, the constant attacks made it nearly impossible, and with 50 promising even more receipts, the battle was far from over. In the end, what started as a claim about paperwork had grown into a full-blown war of words and reputations. The audience was left wondering if they'd ever get the definitive truth, or if this would simply remain one of the messiest feuds in recent hip-hop history. And then 50 delivered one last stinging jab, writing, "It ain't my fault all that money's gone. B, give the baby back his jewelry." But he wasn't finished there. He had words for Boozy, too. When Boozy was asked about 50 airing out Lil Meech's private messages, Boozy made it clear he wasn't impressed by how Lil Meech handled the drama. Boozy didn't hold back. "If that was my pops getting dragged, I wouldn't have stayed calm or respectful. I'd have popped off." And 50, never one to let a comment slide, fired back instantly. He claimed he'd done more for Lil Meech than Big Meech ever had. Posting a clip from Boozy's interview, 50 doubled down, saying, "I did more for Meech than anybody in his life. Boozy, that's why he responded like that. If he got locked up, I'm the first one he calls. I bailed him out every time." At this point, Lil Meech seemed to have reached his limit. He stopped trying to keep things civil and made a bold move. He was spotted shoulder to shoulder with two of 50's biggest rivals, Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. If that wasn't a statement, nothing was. By now, everyone knows the history between 50 Cent and Rick Ross. Their beef goes back more than a decade, filled with insults, lawsuits, and endless shade. For Lil Meech to align himself with Ross and Mayweather wasn't just a coincidence, it was a deliberate choice. This entire feud with Big Meech and his circle exploded the moment Meech stepped out of prison and linked up with Ross, almost like they'd been close allies all along. With tensions already sky high, things got even messier when 50 started digging into Big Meech's history outside of his criminal empire. He brought up old rumors about Meech's alleged deals with former associates and hinted at connections nobody saw coming. Every new claim 50 made sparked another wave of debates online, splitting fans and critics into opposing camps. Some people doubled down on their belief that Meech's record was spotless, while others started questioning the narrative they'd believed for years. Adding fuel to the fire, 50 kept teasing that he had more evidence to drop. He'd post cryptic messages and vague hints about unreleased documents, keeping everyone on edge. Each post sent social media into a frenzy, with everyone trying to guess what 50 would reveal next. As the drama escalated, it became clear that this wasn't just a feud anymore. It was a full-blown campaign to reshape how people viewed Big Meech's legacy. And let's not forget about Floyd Mayweather. Once upon a time, he and 50 were as close as brothers. But their friendship blew up years ago over money issues and the sharp insults they threw at one another. So, seeing Lil Meech now smiling and hanging with both Ross and Floyd? That's no ordinary meetup. That's a direct statement. Naturally, 50 wasn't about to let it slide. On Friday, February 21st, Lil Meech posted a photo of himself with Floyd and Ross, all grins. They'd been kicking it at Lucky Strike Bowling Alley in Miami the night before, and that wasn't the only photo. Lil Meech posted another shot of just him and Floyd, sporting gear from Meech's revived clothing line, Red Letter 1. Once a failed venture, the brand is now making a comeback, and Lil Meech even gifted Floyd some exclusive pieces right on the spot. To drive the point home, Lil Meech added a bold caption, "Real Power." But the message didn't end there. Big Meech himself made a surprise appearance via phone. While the whole crew was hanging out, Ross and Floyd both jumped on the call, making sure to show Meech love on speakerphone, almost as if they were ensuring 50 heard every word. Floyd even joked, "I'm gonna send some wings over there." That playful jab said it all. 50 Cent has washed his hands of the Flannery family. No apologies, no mending fences, no turning back now. After all he's done for both Big Meech and Lil Meech, he feels completely betrayed. This isn't just about name-dropping Meech in a few lyrics. 50 poured his time, effort, and resources into building the entire BMF TV empire, exposing their story to millions of viewers around the globe. On top of that, he handed Lil Meech the keys to the entertainment kingdom. He put him in prime position to become a star in his own right. And now, after all that, Lil Meech not only distances himself from 50, but starts rolling with two of 50's most notorious enemies, Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather? That's a statement that couldn't be any clearer, and 50 isn't letting it slide quietly. He's made it clear exactly how deep this cut runs. Social media and the streets are completely divided. Some are calling 50 out, accusing him of turning what should have been a private matter into a public spectacle. They argue that he's driving the snitch narrative without solid proof, and that this is more about his ego than the truth. To them, it looks like 50 is going way overboard, turning personal grievances into a very messy public drama. On the flip side, 50's loyal fans are standing firmly by his side. They say his feelings of betrayal are justified after everything he did for Meech and his family while Meech was behind bars. Sure, 50 profited from BMF's success, but he also gave Lil Meech an opportunity few ever get, a golden ticket into the entertainment industry. And from their perspective, that's not something to be taken lightly, let alone tossed aside. So what's your take on all this? Is 50 Cent taking it too far? Or is he simply standing firm on his principles and dealing with betrayal in his own way? And as for the paperwork, does it really hold up as proof that Big Meech turned informant? Or is this just another case of street rumors spiraling out of control? Share your thoughts below, give it a like, pass it on to your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what comes next, because this saga is still unfolding. Stay tuned for the next update.